Today I get to record a bit of a special video. So, to start things off, I came across Taoism at around 11, 12 years old, maybe a little younger. Very strange book. And eventually I came across an interesting book called the Ching. And within the Ching, there are methods of divination to help with asking for advice, asking for questions, wanting to know what's going to happen in the future. Though they advise newbies to just stick to advice. They, I mean, some guy who wrote a book. I don't know. So today, I'm also making this video because the only reason it's possible, the stand that's holding up my phone, these bamboo sticks, things I could have done for myself. I could have. Didn't. Were brought to you by my lovely girlfriend, whom, before posting this video, I plan later tonight to finally say, I love you. And I'm posting this, recording this from a lovely bedroom in a lovely home, comfortable. Just really happy. When I started recording these videos frequently again, posting shorts here and there, I was living in my car. Little blue 4-door Saturn. Sleeping in parking lots, working 2 jobs, single. And somehow I went from that to moving in with the love of my life, having enough free time to work on content, write, continue to study. Currently working on the I Ching as well as many other books. Got a nice bookcase over here off camera full of a bunch of physical books I've always wanted to go through and read and get to share with my significant other. Today I also wanted to be able to share a basic divination method from the I Ching and go through my session, just to also make this a tutorial video in a sense for a simplified version of a divination method. Maybe spark some interest in some future diviners. You know, I've seen a lot of people do stuff like tarot cards for similar purposes. So today I wasn't really sure what the question was going to be. However, I'm just going to simply ask for advice. Going into tonight, my lovely girlfriend, I've been playing this game for about a week now, where I felt like I wanted to say I love you, but I decided I was going to play around for a week and see what it would feel like to just wait. There were a couple moments it was a little hard. I had to really take a deep breath and just let my thoughts do their thing. But today, this morning, I felt some empty air, and it just kind of felt empty, and it felt like it needed to be filled. So I think tonight's the right night to do it. It's been a lovely ride, and I look forward to having the time to make content, listen to more Meaning Wave. Meaning Wave exists. Check out Akira the Dawn. I mean, merch speaks for itself. It's gorgeous. Everywhere I go, I get people commenting on this stuff. I had one guy literally come and quote the entire Lady of Shalott poem to me. He just lyriced it off when he saw me. I work in a deli. I handed him like food, and he just read, not even read, just from memory, did the Lady of Shalott poem to me. You know? But yeah, advice on tonight, saying I love you, tutorial video, and away we go. So, to start out with, you take 50 bamboo skewers. Originally it was Yarrow sticks, and stalks, Yarrow stalks, but those are a little bit harder to come by, especially in the States. So, we've got bamboo skewers as replacements. You want 50 of them. You're going to take, out of the 50 of them, one to signify the beginning and place it in front of you. And then you're going to randomly divide between your two hands the sticks and place them in front of you. To either side. From the right pile, you're going to take one stick, place it between your pinky and your ring finger on your left hand. This is going to signify humanity, essentially. I wish I could tell you why this is all important. I'm not there yet myself, but still wanted to share this practice with y'all. So then, pick up the right pile with your left hand and begin taking sets of 4 from your left hand. You're going to make piles of 8. And you're going to continue to do this until you're down to 7 or less sticks. Alright, at this point, you're going to add the amount of sticks you have left together in your left hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 1 that we pulled out plus 4 is going to be 5 for me. So we start from the bottom. 5 is going to refer to one of eight. I think this is honestly backwards, but one of 8 trigrams, essentially, gores. And we are going to draw the lines that correspond to them, and we're going to do this whole process just the way we did it twice. The second time to get the top gua, and when we combine the two, they're going to form what the trigram or gua that we're going to be getting our piece of advice from. So 5 corresponds with sun, which is wind or wood. It has a yin line at the bottom, yang line at the second, yang line in the third spot. Part of the reason you might want to do this process and take as long as you do is to give you time to really meditate on the process and give time for the answers to stew. In another book I've read over the years, couldn't tell you which one right now, but essentially it talked about how one man would just go into a room and turn out the lights and just think and problem solve his way out of quite a bit of things. So I think this is deliberate process of just taking your time on the question, and the process really allows you to get into the headspace for the process. So again, we're going to lay down the 1 to signify beginning. Two random piles, one on the right, one on the left. Taking 1 from the right pile, place it between your ring finger and your pinky finger. Humanity. In your left hand, begin taking 4 to form piles of 8. After forming all of our piles, I'm left with 2, which is doi, or lake. So we have wind below, or lake above, wind below. our trigram. You can't see that from there, but it's a set of 6 yin and yang lines that, when formed together, form one of the trigrams from the I Ching. And we'll identify which one that is here in a moment. But first, we're going to do one final piece of divination, which is going to get us a moving line, which will help us zero in on a more specific piece of the advice, as life is more of a changing process, not just a stationary process. So a lot of the I Ching is, the I Ching is called the Book of Change, essentially, translated into English. And so change is important to the process. So we've got a random pile in our left hand, random pile in our right hand. We're going to place these down again. Now, at the beginning, we're going to follow a lot of the same steps. So we placed one down in the center to signify the beginning. We place these 2 down. We're going to take one from the right pile, place it between our pinky and our ring finger. However, this time, with our left hand again, we're going to pick up the left pile. And instead of doing sets of 4 and making piles of 8, we're going to pull sets of 6 until there's 5 or less. Again, making piles. Alright, I'm left with 2. So my moving line is the second yang. So now, ideally, you would want to be completely familiar with the process. And by that, I mean you would want to know all the guos so well that you could see just the yin and yang lines and already know not only what guo this is, but also what it would change to if we moved the line, which would be swapping that yang into a yin line, as that'll form a new guo, which will be the change. So I should be able to see both of those in an ideal divination process. That isn't the case. So today, I get to spend time looking through the table of contents. Every time I read what these guos are, up until I start reading the information on it, I feel a sense of doom when I ask these questions. So, Dagua is great exceeding, and it is actually Doi Sun, lake above, wood below. Interesting. Da is great. Gu is exceeding. Wilhelm translates, another translator of this book, Da Gu as preponderance of the great. and below field translates it as excess. I followed the literal Chinese meaning, great exceeding. This guo is the opposite of the preceding guo. All the solid lines of the preceding guo convert to yielding lines, and the yielding lines convert to solid lines. In this way, nourishing alternates to great exceeding. During a time of great exceeding, inevitably, there is extraordinary action. Extraordinary action needs great nourishment. Therefore, nourishing and great exceeding complement each other. Sequence of the guo. Without nourishing, it is impossible to take action. Thus, after nourishing, great exceeding follows. Da guo denotes greatly exceeding, taking extraordinary action. The structure of guo is lake above, wood below. There are 4 solid lines and 2 yielding lines. The number of solid lines is double that of the yielding ones. The yang greatly exceeds the yin. This is the one reason that King Wen named this guo great exceeding. The name also derives from the structure. In the layout of the lines can be seen a blueprint for the frame of a house. The 6 lines represent the topmost horizontal beam of a roof. The stability of a house greatly depends on the quality of this beam, because all of the rafters lean against the central pole. Here the ridge pole is not stable. The 2 ends of the pole are weak, 2 yielding lines. While the central part is strong, 4 solid lines, this picture reveals how the weight of the central portion of the ridge pole exceeds the capacity of the 2 ends to sustain it. This is another reason for the name great exceeding, which suggests the roof is about to fall and it is time to go somewhere or to do something to remedy the situation. There are 2 ideographs constituting the name of the guo. The first ideograph, da, represents great. It is an image of a person standing upright, consists of 2 parts. 3 strokes curved to the top left symbolize ideograph. Underneath the footprints is the ideograph ji, which means stop. On the right side is the ideograph guo. It's the function to provide the sound of the character. It sounds like a cross-section of the side view of a house. There are 2 pillars on each side of a beam sitting on the pillars. Underneath the beam is a tiny square representing a mouth, which consists with a metal for people in ancient China. Just as we say many mouths to feed in English, placing the person underneath the beam between the pillars suggests that the structure is a house. Above the beam is an extra structure which gives the beam an extra load, symbolizing excess. In this guo, the solid line at the 2nd place and the solid line at the 5th place are central. Second 9. Withered willow produces sprouts. Old man takes young wife. Nothing is unfavorable. Old man takes young wife. The excess is she can be adjusted. Great exceeding alternates to, so we're getting to the moving line at this point. So second 9, great exceeding, which would represent essentially where I'm at and why I need, change. I don't know about why I need change, but where I'm at and for what I could be changing to with advice. Great exceeding alternates to mutual influence. Willows grow close to water. The lower guo is wind or wood. The 4 yang lines in the middle of this guo can be seen as a single yang element, which gives this guo the appearance of the primary guo, water. Thus, willow was employed as a symbol. The solid line at the 2nd place is the lowest among the 4 yang lines. It symbolizes the beginning of great exceeding. This yang element does not respond to the yang element at the 5th place. They are both yang. However, it is close to the yin element at the bottom. These yin and yang attract each other, like an old man taking a young wife. The old man gets nourishment from the young wife and has children, like a withered willow producing new sprouts. The old man and young wife symbolize excess and inefficiency. When they are balanced, nothing is unfavorable. This line reveals the truth that excess and inefficiency can be adjusted and balanced. resting. I too hope to have children with this beautiful woman who has come into my life just as everything else has fallen into place. This beautiful home, this beautiful dog, the time to do all these things that I'd love to be able to do, to be able to record content at free will. Have days where I can just dance for 20 minutes, because why not? And having the time to just be grateful for all of it. And I may never make a dime on YouTube or any other platform, but may this video help one person, inspire one person, even if it's just because they discovered either the I Ching or, almost more important to me, Meaning Wave, Care of the Dawn, and inspire others too. I love all of you.